Now that we have the intro set up and the kids have chosen their names, we've talked a little bit about the roles in the game, let's talk about what the facilitator roles are. So the facilitator or the teacher roles, those are the office supply store owner. We talked about this before. And what they do is when we're facilitating the game, each spot has a different thing. So if you look at the first one, it says plan for materials and expenses. So that's something the kids do. The second thing they do is they buy raw materials and office supplies. So one person is very easily the wholesaler and the office supply store person. So when the kids come to do that, then you sell them their office supplies and raw materials, and then they give you the money and you give them the change. Okay. There's also a customer. So when they sell the products, I usually am the customer, or one of my university students sometimes likes to be the customer, so I let them be the customer. So one of the really important things when you're the customer is to teach them some sales skills, some communication skills. So when they come to you and they say, I want to sell an airplane, you say, oh, what's your name? What company are you from? Make them shake your hand, look you in the eye so they learn the business handshake etiquette. And then they might say a few things about their airplane, like why it's good or whatever, and then they'll fly it and then you pay them. And then what I usually do is I say, next time I would really like to see a business card. And then they actually have to go back and tell the team that so that they can figure out some way with some of their raw materials, like maybe their scraps or they do something different, they bring me a business card the next time. And then each time I will tell them something different, like, oh, I would love to have a coupon, or I would love to see different colors. So sometimes they'll try to be cheap and like not buy any markers, and they'll just have pen, and it's pretty dull looking paper airplane. And so then I will say, oh, I really like the color blue. And so then they'll go buy a blue marker. And then I might say, you know, if they just continue with one marker, I might say, oh, I love all the different colors that are available nowadays. And then they'll do that. So one of the other things is at the office supply store is paper clips. And sometimes kids don't know what to use the paper clips for. So I'll say, maybe you should experiment with the weight of your plane and try to figure out how you can do that. So there's a lot of problem solving within the game and running the business operations. The other thing that the facilitator role is, so there's 3 facilitator roles so far. We have the office supply store owner, we have the wholesaler, and we have the customer. The last one is the banker. So at the beginning they got the $200 and that was their loan. They have to pay that loan back. So if they pay the loan back sooner rather than later, they get a discount. We talk about why you have to pay more and talk about interest so that they learn that if you borrow money, you have to pay interest, and the longer you keep it, the more interest you pay. If they pay it back right away in that first round, they don't have to pay any interest. If they pay it in the second round, they have to pay $10. If they pay it in the third round, then they have to pay $20 and so on. So they have to pay $10 more each round that they wait to pay back their loan. So it's advantageous to them in their profits at the end to pay that loan back right away. So if they want to pay the loan back, what we do is during one of these things, it says repay your loan. They go to the banker and then they repay their loan. If they've made enough from their sales in that first round, they can do it. The other thing that we add into this game is donating to charity. So on their planning sheet, which we'll talk about in a minute, there is a place for donations. So when they go to the banker, they can also make a donation to charity, and the banker will write that down. And then they also write it down. So those are the facilitator roles.